James Holder, Fryfall TV, in association with Matt Clint's Gym Marbella. With me, I've got trainer Joe Gallagher. We're at the press conference today for WBO World Champion Liam Smith, defending against Saul Canelo Alvarez. Massive fight. Firstly, congratulations to Liam Smith, yourself and the team for getting and taking such a big fight. Press conference, how do you think it went, John?
Very well. I think it's been a good few days over there in America. Like I said to Liam, it's like your sightseeing trip, soak it all in. Have a visualisation of the stadium, the night, the fans, being around Alvarez, the American press, and then coming back here today as well. And Liam Smith, he was one that seems to have stuck his chest out, collar up. He's like, nah, this is it. This is my moment, and you can sense that from him, and he can't wait to get back in the gym tomorrow and start going to work.
We've spoken about for the last probably 8 or 9 months Liam Smith wanting a marquee fight, wanting a marquee name. What and how long did it take for you for the team to come to the decision to take this fight once it was on the table?
No, it was snap his hands off for it. Obviously there was the talks of Cotto as well, but this is a fight you snap your hands off. He's one of the best pound for pound fighters in the world, well known, a god over in Mexico, and it's a huge opportunity for Liam Smith. And I've got to stress, this isn't a Brit that's going over fighting somebody and there just to make up numbers. We're there going there to win, and we're usually confident of pulling off the win and the upset, and we know it's got to be a hard fight, and Liam's got to get questions asked about him that he's never had asked before, but we've got to ask some questions of Canelo Alvarez as well. And I've said all along, I think Liam Smith's got a great chance of winning the fight. If it goes to points, whether he'll be given the fight, we don't know. But the plan is to go in there and I think to get the win anyway.
Do you think certain aspects of the media were disrespectful, mentioning potential Canelo Golovkin fight, the fact that Liam Smith is the champion, he is going out there to defend his title? Do you think that was certain aspects were a bit disrespectful?
I think that's the thing with the whole British media. I think we've got 13 world champions, and I don't think Liam Smith gets any of the credit that others do. And like you say, if it was any of the others that was fighting Saul Alvarez, I don't think they'd be asking them type of questions. It just shows, and I was very annoyed at that, it's just dismissing Liam's chances, and that's from a British journalist. And everyone that's we want to see him after the fight if we've won. Do you understand? I just thought it was very disrespectful. I think Liam Smith is a good world champion, and fair play to him. He could take easy defences here, there and everywhere, and he's gone, nah, I want the big fights, I want Alvarez, and that's it, yeah.
What do we learn from Saul Alvarez, from the likes of when he fought Mayweather when he was 21 to his recent fight against Amir Khan and even James Kirkland? What have we learned about him as a fighter over that period?
Yeah, it's funny really, because me and Liam were in the BoxNation studios when we watched the Kirkland fight, and what an explosive fight it was. And like I say, he's maturing into a man now. Saul Alvarez is getting that man strength as strong as he already is, but so is Liam. Both fighters are coming into the prime. Liam's 27, Alvarez is 26. And I feel that Alvarez is a stronger fighter now, but like I say, he's fought fighters that Amir Khan started his career at lightweight, so did Miguel Cotto, light welterweight, and they've been through a few wars themselves and other fighters, so they're his most noticeable wins. He's had very good wins over Lara and Trout, and he lost to Mayweather, who's one of the greatest fighters there's been, so no shame, but I feel Liam Smith is... Joe, it's hard to say, and listen, we might look back in this in 4 months' time and go, well, he's talking a load of shite, do you know what I mean? But it's just something that I feel in and around the Alvarez team, that they're taking the Liam Smith challenge very serious.
What do we make of Canelo coming down to 154? I know technically Liam said in the press conference it's only a pound, it doesn't make much difference. Liam even looked a lot sort of bigger than Saul Canelo Alvarez during the head-to-head today, which was quite surprising. What do you make of the whole situation?
Yeah, listen, I always see you later, mate. I always knew Liam was when we were over in LA a couple of years ago. Liam could have sparred Alvarez, but it was down in San Diego, but he hurt his hands. So that didn't happen. And when we were over there in LA, his press conference for him versus Angulo was going on, and I said to Liam, I'm going over to watch him and get an idea of the size and the height of him, and I've seen him, met him and everything else, and come back and went, Liam, he's not that big, give it a couple of years, and do you know what I mean, you'll be ready to go there. And the way the wheels of the world are working, it's happening for him now. And well, listen, Alvarez has been in with bigger fighters, Trout, he's a huge kid, Lara, do you understand? So they're no mugs, and they're heavy-handed fighters as well, so yeah, the size don't matter, it's the size of the dog in the fight, and I'm sure Liam Smith has got plenty of that.
If Liam Smith is victorious, or in your opinion, when Liam Smith is victorious out in Texas, do you think this will propel him to superstar status? Do you think that will make him sort of one of the biggest names and global draws in boxing?
Yeah, I think it was. Well, I don't know whether it'll make it one of the biggest draws, but the result will be one of the biggest. I think it'll be the biggest from any British boxer that has ever been. Never mind what's gone on before that's ever been. But Liam's a world champion. We're not going over there fighting a world champion. We're the world champion. We've got to defend it well like a world champion. But I do feel, and that's why I said in the press to the press, make sure you turn up and be there. You've all gone over to Vegas supporting Naz, Joe Gallagher, Ricky Hatton, other British fighters in the past. Make sure you come over and support one of our own like you would do if it was any other British fighter going over there at the moment. And they need to get behind him, and as a fighter, you know people are coming out supporting you, and there's a big press contingent. It gives you a bit of confidence that they think there is a possibility, but if staying away it fails through, do you understand? So we want them all there out in Dallas and getting behind Liam Smith.
September 17th, I said Mexican Independence Weekend, massive for Canelo and Mexico as a country. How do you think Liam Smith will handle that pressure situation? It's going to be a lot different to fighting, say, at the Echo where he's got massive support and not far from his house. How do you think he'll handle the pressure of such a big...
I think the thing with Liam is he's been around so many big fights with his stablemates, Paul over in Oakland against Andre Ward, Paul in Germany. The big fight with Quigg Frampton, Anton Crawler, big nights. He's been in around it, been in the big fights.
Even Smith Pedroso when his brother fought.
That's it. So he's been in around it. It won't faze him, and he's not that type of kid to be phased.
All right. Well, listen. On that note, we wish you guys the best of luck. When will you go out and sort of climatise for Dallas?
Oh, it's not that. Liam Smith will do all his training as always over here in the UK. We've got good sparring partners lined up, and Liam Smith most will go out the week before.
On that note, thank you very much, Joe.
Brilliant. Cheers, James.
Thank you.